So it looks like another solid set of numbers. Would you say your performance in the last quarter was up to your expectations, given the fact that competition has been stiff and conditions, let's say, have been fairly tight?
Oh, hi, good morning. I think in terms of competition and expectations, I think, in terms of performance, it exceeded expectations. Load factors were up 5 points to 80%, and, I think I was quite happy with the results. But we did see a bit of a slowdown in yields because seasonally second and third quarters are usually slightly slower. But I think with that yield being behind, we were able to drive traffic up about 5%, which is great.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, passenger volume's actually up, yields are down, revenue per seat is lower. Your average fares for that quarter are also lower as well. I mean, should we expect to see lower fares from you just in case the situation merits?
No, not really. I think for second quarter, we did see a bit of a slowdown in China. I think a lot of the other carriers have seen that as well. I think Singapore Airlines, Cathay as well. I think there's been a bit of a slowdown in the traffic coming out of there. We've seen this as well, I think 2 or 3 years back. It's usually a seasonality thing, but usually it comes back in drive. So, I'm not too worried. I think we're pretty much geared up for third and fourth quarter as well. So, but again, Australia as well is a market that we just have to have a look out for. There's a lot of capacity going in there. We're actually reviewing our capacity in Australia. We may look at doing some capacity management going into Australia.
Yeah, so that's what you mean by you're looking to re-strategize your position, because that's still your biggest part, that's the biggest part of your business, isn't it?
Exactly.
China, talk to us about that. That seems to be picking up well. So you've added Wuhan, you've increased frequency to the other big cities in China. What other routes are you looking at on the Chinese mainland?
Well, I think at the moment, Wuhan's doing very well. We're doing daily for that. We got 1 or 2 routes that we are just waiting for approvals to get. At the moment, as you're aware, in China, slots is prime. But I think now we just have to be more prudent in how to find destinations. I think in China, we're already starting to move into the second tier and third tier cities. There's a lot there. There's a lot in northeast of China, which we're looking at. So, and they are also starving for capacity, international carriers like us to come in. So if we get a good deal from the airports, that's something that I want to go because China, as I said, the demand is huge coming in and inbound as well out of KL. But we'll see. We're also looking at a few other markets that we are quite profitable doing, which is North Asia, Japan, and Korea, doing very well for us. We've added a bit of capacity there. Taipei is doing very well for us. We've increased now to 3 flights a day. And on the back of that, I think with the market share dominance, we've seen airlines like EVA Airways cutting back capacity from the Taipei Kuala Lumpur leg, which is great. So that's our focus. I think it's more about market dominance and drive more passengers through.
That actually takes me to the concern over fleet, which I'll get to in just a moment. But very quickly, at what point, and this is part of your long-term plan, at what point does China become your biggest market?
It will be. We're growing there because I think this, you're talking about the second-tier cities and the third-tier cities, and they're, in general, you're looking at about close to 50 to 60 million population. I think it's pretty much a straightforward decision-making. It's just trying to make sure that we get the best deals from the airports, as I said. But yes, China will be our main focus, and also North Asia. Really, North Asia is our main focus, China plus all the others, and building that market for the future. And Australia will be something that will probably now be more a supporting role for us, and we'll see how we go from there.
And given all your plans, do you have enough planes? You have currently a fleet of 30 Airbus aircraft. Are you planning to increase your fleet size this year? And if so, can I assume you're still looking at Airbus?
Yes, we're still looking at Airbus. So, the good thing is, in the last 2 years, the main strategy for us was to increase utilization. We were flying at about 14.5 hours last year, and this year we're pretty much squeezing every hour in, so we're at about 17 hours now. And we are now in discussions to just get some second-hand aircrafts to come in just to supplement the growth for the 1 year. Because our 330neos only come towards the end of next year. So we're looking at about 2 to 4 aircrafts, depending. Of course, the decision making is just more towards trying to find routes that we can make money. If the routes doesn't make sense, then we'll just scale back on the aircrafts that we are planning to take for the third parties.
And Ben, just back to your financials, I'm looking at your balance sheet here. So you've reduced your dollar debt. That essentially means your net gearing's down. Do you have any fundraising plans in the pipeline that we should know about?
No, there's no fundraising plans at the moment. I think the good thing is the balance sheet is strong. It gives us more of a position now to go for financing ourselves for the aircrafts. Currently, most of our aircrafts are on sale and leasebacks, off-balance sheet transactions. So really, I think I'm quite confident now. We're going out to the financial institutions to source for funding.
Right.
There's been quite a lot of traction going in there. So we'll see how that goes.
And very quickly, Ben, one last thing. You're concerned about the currency movement. Are you hedged?
For currency, no. I think it's a very cycle movement. We can't put in that position yet. So I think the best is just to hedge on fuel. We're currently close to about 70% hedge on fuel. So on currency, I think we'll just stay where we are and just monitor where it is and just absorb what it is.